Mic test, 1, 2, 3, mic test. Yo, thank you guys. I appreciate you checking out my mod. I just want to talk a little bit about why I'm doing this. I've been playing Skyrim for about like 9 years now, and this is my first mod that I've ever made. So I hope you guys enjoy it. The reason I'm doing it is because vanilla combat in Skyrim always felt really bad to me, and there have been tons and tons of different animation mods, especially mainly for third person, but not really any mods that fix first person combat. And to be honest with you, I don't think there's much you can do to fix Skyrim combat, but we're gonna try our best here. So my problem with third person combat in Skyrim is that hit detection is crosshair based. And since it's crosshair based, you have to be facing your opponent in order for damage to be calculated. So if you use any mods like smooth cam or third person camera that puts your character to the side of the camera, of the crosshair I mean, then you're essentially kind of aiming with your camera instead of aiming with your character. So it's not like Dark Souls at all, which they have their own hitboxes and everything. So you have this weird thing where you're kind of swinging in the air if you're not looking at your opponent, even though that your sword or your axe is colliding with the opponent. And that is a very bad way of playing the game, in my opinion. I know we're always trying to change Skyrim into Dark Souls, but that's simply not going to happen because the crosshair hit detection it's like hard baked into the code. So that's never going to go away. So I thought that the most optimal way of playing the game would be in first person. But unfortunately, first person melee combat to me has always felt really weird, mainly because of the camera sway, and second, the fact that you slice through your enemies like butter. Like there's no impact to anything that you do. So this mod is going to try to rectify that. This mod only changes vanilla animations, so you don't need to worry about having custom animations, so you don't need Nemesis or FNIS. What I actually use is something called Dynamic Animation Replacer. It's a super powerful tool. I don't know why more people aren't using it. Thanks to Dynamic Animation Replacer, we can basically switch out every single animation for every different type of weapon in the game that's recognized by the vanilla system. So why don't we go and hop in and see what this mod does. First up, we got the sword. What you're going to notice first is that you have 3 new light attacks. My biggest influence for this was Vermintide 2, which in my opinion has the best first person action melee combat I've ever played in my entire life, maybe with the exception of Dying Light. You may also notice that your attack right is untouched, it's unchanged. This is because trying to animate, putting a custom animation into attack right has resulted in some really weird bugs for me, so I decided just to leave it out completely. You also will get 1 standing overhead in the form of a standing power attack, and you will also get a forward power attack, which is in the form of a thrust. This is very similar to another animation mod on the Nexus for third person. I believe it's by Mofu. The last thing that you're going to notice is probably that there's no camera wobble when you're swinging your sword. The reasons for this are semi-intentional. Number 1 is because I never really liked the camera swaying. I felt like I couldn't aim my weapon at all. I didn't know where I was going whenever I was doing power attacks, so it's really annoying. So I decided to leave it out. Number 2, it's because animating the camera in first person is kind of buggy right now. It's not impossible, but it would just take an ungodly amount of time for everything to look correct. But if you do like the camera sway and you want a little bit of impact, then I definitely highly recommend TK Hit Stop or X-Slice's script-free hit stop, which is what I'm using in the video right now. So we got a chunky one coming up next. The axe, you're going to get 3 new light attacks. You're going to get a new overhead in the form of a standing power attack, and you're going to get another overhead in the form of your forward power attack. If you take a look closely, you'll notice that your attacks are all aimed towards the center of the camera where your crosshair is. This makes it easier for you to aim your weapons, but it's not that aiming in Skyrim matters anyways. And now we come to the big boy Mace. The mace is also going to have 3 new light attacks, and as you can see, your mace doesn't just swing through your opponent anymore. It's going to actually make impact and bounce like a real blunt weapon would in real life. But it's not like I'm trying to go for realism anyways. You're also going to get a new power attack and a new forward power attack. Woohoo, now we come to the daggers, boy. I spent way too much goddamn time on this. You're gonna have a new unsheathing animation, and you're gonna have a new idol. Look, the fingers are animated and shit. The daggers were, they were a personal one for me, because I really hated the fact that you swung every single weapon the same, daggers in particular, so that it swung like an axe, it swung like a sword, it swung like a mace. It was really unimmersive for me to look at, so I decided I wanted to make completely new animations just to spite Bethesda. So you got light, and you also got a new power attack and a new forward power attack. Unfortunately, there is no sneak attack, because when I tried this out, it was also very buggy, so I decided to leave it out for now. Maybe I can fix it in the future. But boy, I ain't done yet. Now we're gonna have dual daggers. These animations occur when you have a dagger in your right and your dagger in your left. So make sure that you have both in your hands. You'll have a new unsheathing animation and a new sheath animation. Unfortunately, the sheath animation is a little buggy. The bug occurs when you're trying to run and sheath your weapon at the same time. You'll just pull out your weapon again. It's really weird. I don't know what this bug is, but what you can do is just stand still and sheath your weapon and everything's fine. So your right hand will still have the stabbing motions from the single dagger animations, but you'll have a new left swing and you'll have a new power stab. Again, no new sneak animations. Here's a weapon that I also spent way too much time on. The Katana. You have a new unsheath animation and a new idol, as well as a new running idol. You'll have 3 new light attacks, like always. And you may notice that this is the only weapon that I made to cleave through enemies. This is mainly because everybody knows that glorious Nippon steel is folded over 1,000 times, and is vastly superior to any other weapon made on planet Earth. Same as before, you'll have 1 new overhead, and 1 new running overhead. You'll have a new sprinting animation, and plus a kind of buggy sprint attack animation. I'm thinking about leaving this out for the final release of this mod because it's kind of not working, but you know it's there. Not every single weapon animation has been touched in this mod. For example, the great weapons, I didn't do any of those because I believe Combat Gameplay Overhaul changes some of the first person animations for great weapons. So I didn't want any conflicts or compatibility issues with that. Maybe in the future I'll think about doing it for people who don't use that mod. Let's talk compatibility. Dynamic Animation Replacer and its requirements are a hard requirement for my mod. If you do not download this, then the mod will not work. You'll just have 74 files sitting in your Skyrim folder for absolutely no reason. So please go to the mod page and download Dynamic Animation Replacer. Next thing up is Nemesis. Nemesis and Dynamic Animation Replacer are semi-compatible, I guess. The only thing that you need to know is that if you have files that modify the same files as my mod, then Nemesis will overwrite Dynamic Animation Replacer. So Nemesis based animations will always play over Dynamic Animation Replacer. Other third-person animation mods do not seem to affect my mod whatsoever, so I think you're good to go. Another mod that changes first-person animations is the enhanced magic animations. Since those change completely different animations, I don't think you'll have any compatibility issues. As of right now, my mod is completely compatible with Combat Gameplay Overhaul. It is also compatible with improved camera or enhanced camera on Legendary Edition. Here are some of my favorite mods to improve your combat experience. I recommend TK Hitstop or ZX Slice's script-free hitstop, Immersive Sound Compendium, Improved Camera, Wildcats Combat of Skyrim, First-person parry animations, the Flinch mod, and Ultimate Combat, which adds that swingy effect to the weapon. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the mod as much as I did making it. Many sleepless nights, very angry girlfriend. But there's a couple people I want to thank before I close out the video. First, I want to thank TK. You guys might know him from TK Dodge. He's provided this great animation tool, this rig basically you can use to make poses and animations in Skyrim. That's absolutely incredible. I would also like to thank Conrad on the Skyrim Animators Discord for providing a rig that works in first person. And of course, I would like to thank Felisky for making the dynamic animations replacer mod. Without that mod, none of this would have been possible, making different animations for different types of weapons, and that's only like the tip of the iceberg of what this mod can do. But yeah, thank you guys very much, and I hope wherever you are, whoever you are, that you have a wonderful day. Peace out.